Our nation is back, bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before.
Our president has endangered the long and storied history of the United States of America being a force for good.
A history-making night by the president now being met with mixed reaction. What topics the president focused on while delivering his State of the Union address, and how Democrats are responding.
The Riverside County Sheriff, who's also running as a Republican candidate in the race to become California's next governor, making his intentions clear if he does win the position. What he says is vital to correcting the state's current failures, plus what he envisions the state to look like with him as governor.
Republican-led efforts underway on Capitol Hill as lawmakers work to take up legislation to try to codify the president's tariff agenda. What options they're weighing to gain Democratic support and why it's unlikely they will be able to pull it off.
And we've had some above normal temperatures the last few days as we get the middle of the week rolling here at Highway 99 and Jansen Avenue. Coming up, we're going to explain these above normal temperatures and maybe get a little bit of a look at our next chance of rain. Details coming up in your Great Day forecast.
You're watching Fox 26, and now, Great Day.
We begin this hour of Great Day with a live look at downtown Fresno. Today's high in Fresno expected to reach 74 degrees, making for some beautiful afternoons. Good morning to you on this Wednesday. We're now halfway through the week. I'm Liz Gonzalez.
I'm Carl Cook.
And I'm Justin Willis. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, a little warm out there. It feels like spring. We're not officially there yet, but we're getting close.
Still enjoying it.
Yeah, it's been great out there. Lovely weather. I drove to work with the windows down this morning. It was nice.
Oh, nice.
That's brave of you.
Well, I mean,
if you have allergies, you can't do that.
Oh, that's true. That's very true. I was like, what does she mean?
I said, good for you. If you, hey, those who can, enjoy.
I was a little skeptical when she's like, put the windows down brave. I was like, what do you mean by that?
Oh, not like that.
By the way, they
Not
make
like that.
medications for allergies now, just so everybody knows.
They do, but they only go so far.
Just grab a handful and just...
Well, we'll talk.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get see how everything's shaping up out there for you right now. Currently, it's 58 degrees outside right now. The winds are out of the north at 3 miles an hour. The dew point's at 50. And here's the rest of the day. It'll be partly sunny out there for us today. Not too bad. But it'll be 66 degrees at 10 a.m., 71 at noon, at 5 o'clock, 73 degrees. And wind speeds will be hanging out about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Pretty nice day in store for us out there. But coming up next, there is another chance of rain. Not a whole lot, but we'll see when it's going to impact us next.
So you're telling me there's a chance. All right, in his 1 hour and 48 minutes State of the Union address, President Trump made promises of progress while touting his administration's efforts on a number of issues, including border security. He said that the border has been on a virtual lockdown since the beginning of his administration. But last month, CBP reported 9,700 Southwest land border encounters, the second straight month below 10,000.
In the past 9 months, 0 illegal aliens have been admitted to the United States, but we will always allow people to come in legally, people that will love our country and will work hard to maintain our country.
Fiscal year 2025 still saw 443,000 encounters at the southern border, significantly lower than the prior fiscal year, when more than 2 million had been reported. Now, the figure doesn't account for an unknown number of gotaways. According to the government, the Trump administration continues its mass deportation campaign, which includes many who were granted temporary asylum during the Biden administration. The president then shifted focus to the Supreme Court ruling that struck down many of his sweeping tariffs. 4 of the High Court's justices attended the speech, including 3 who sided with the majority ruling against the tariffs.
So despite the disappointing ruling, these powerful, country-saving, it's saving our country, the kind of money we're taking in, peace-protecting. Many of the wars I settled was because of the threat of tariffs. I wouldn't have been able to settle them without. Will remain in place under fully approved and tested alternative legal statutes.
The president says his alternative legal statutes are more complex, but says they are probably better. He also says congressional action on tariffs will not be necessary. Businesses that paid his tariffs say they are owed refunds, as we've been reporting. Those costs were already passed on to American consumers who are not expected to receive any relief. The president also insisted that he has reduced inflation.
But in 12 months, my administration has driven core inflation down to the lowest level in more than 5 years. And in the last 3 months of 2025, it was down to 1.7%.
Let's take a look at the numbers. Core inflation was 2.6% in November and December, but it was never reported in October as a result of the government shutdown. The 1.7% average that President Trump claims in the last 3 months is only possible if core inflation was 0% in October. And there's no way of knowing what it truly was. But there was 3% in September. It was 2.5% last month. President Trump plans to take his message of economic strength on the road later this week once he visits Texas. Meantime, Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger gave the Democratic response to the president's State of the Union address.
In his speech tonight, the president did what he always does. He lied, he scapegoated, and he distracted. And he offered no real solutions to our nation's pressing challenges, so many of which he is actively making worse.
Spanberger went on to criticize the Trump administration over its immigration crackdown efforts, and she also slammed the president's tariffs, which she claims have cost families more than $1,700 in additional expenses. Her message wrapped up with a call for Democrats who are running in the midterms to focus on affordability. A local Congressman, Jim Costa, again, he represents Fresno and Tulare counties, says the tone and message of last night's State of the Union address missed what many Americans are actually focused on.
How we're going to improve the economy, how we're going to deal with the cost of living for homes, for automobiles, for grocery shopping every week. And I think the president really did not address those issues in a way that made Americans feel that, in fact, the economy is going in the right direction.
And it's worth noting in the next hour of Great Day, Representative Costa will be joining us live for this week's edition of Connect to Congress. Again, an open invitation that we have to all members of Congress. We'll be hearing more about his reaction to the State of the Union address then. Meantime, Republican Congressman Vince Fong also issued a statement following the State of the Union address. The congressman says, quote, "Our Central Valley deserves relief and opportunity. And with President Trump in office, that is what they are seeing. More money in their pockets, a stronger economy, safer cities. A proud and confident America once again leading on the world stage." Congressman Fong, who represents a district that includes parts of Fresno, Tulare, and Kern counties. President Trump made history, by the way, with last night's State of the Union address. It was the longest in modern history, at least in the last 60 years, lasting 1 hour and 48 minutes. This address was 8 minutes longer than President Trump's address before the joint session of Congress last year. According to the American Presidency Project, which tracks the lengths of each speech since 1964, the shortest speech was President Richard Nixon's in 1972. That one lasted 28 minutes.
All right, it's 5:07 now. Checking out the forecast for you. Well, just kind of holding steady for us here. Temperatures are staying above normal. Got some high pressure impacting us on either side of the state out there, especially out in the Pacific there. But we still got this situation here kind of pushing into the state, bringing in a lot of cloud cover here. We're going to be partly cloudy out there once again today. At low pressure helping funnel all that in. Still some rain going on up there in Northern California and parts of the Sierra Nevada mountains. In fact, there's about a 20-30% chance of rain up in places like Mariposa and Oakhurst today. But otherwise, we do have another chance of rain on the way. And that's going to happen, looks like probably next week, but here's what's still happening today about noon there up in Northern California. That's going to back off there for us there. And let's get all the way to next week now, where we are expecting things to pick up again by Sunday night there. Maybe along the foothills and mountains with snow in the higher elevations there. That'll hang on Sunday night there, and then pick up even more so as we get into Monday there with some good snow expected in those higher elevations there, and rain along the foothills there. Some of that getting all the way down into Kern County along the Grapevine there. But again, this is Monday now, just looking ahead here for you, and hanging on until Monday night, and then that's about it. So next chance Monday for Fresno and Central Valley is probably going to be about a 20% chance of rain on Monday. But that's really about it for us as far as our next round of rain. In the meantime, we're staying above normal, and we're in the mid 70s here as we start to work our way towards the weekend here. Middle of the week today, 75 is our high, 74 tomorrow, 74 on Friday, and we're going to be partly to mostly cloudy out there. Overnights will be in the 50s. 50s, and we got some light winds going on out there for you the next few days. All right, in just a bit here, we'll take a look at the highs and lows for today across the rest of the San Joaquin Valley.
The shutdown stalemate continues this morning after lawmakers failed to pass a funding bill for the Department of Homeland Security. Where members from both parties stand on the issue and why Congress expects the shutdown to reach a third week. Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco, Republican candidate for California governor, laying out his plans for the state if he wins. Why he told a South Valley audience that it's important state leaders take a tougher approach to crime. And a live look now at the Sundial Bridge in Redding, looking at the northern part of the state. It is 5:09 and 54 degrees there right now. You can find new headlines and the weather forecast on your screen all morning long, even through the commercial break.
Hi, I'm Monty Torres with Fox 26 News on YouTube. Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel, where we have loads of great content for you to choose from. And while you're here, why not click on the subscribe button right here? That way you can stay in touch with all the latest breaking news, everything news related within the Central Valley. And thank you for watching.